back to the show. Today in the show we'll have a special guest, Mr. Aaron Beck, who around the 6th grade did what we know now as the cognitive therapy, based on the fact that an individual's belief system, expectations and assumptions have a strong influence on his state of well-being. Welcome, Mr. Beck.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's an honor for us to have you here. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about what the cognitive therapy is?
Well, as I would say, cognitive therapy is based on the core cognitive theory, and it is designed to modify the maladaptive and idiosyncratic ideations.
Okay, what can you tell us about the theoretical basis of the cognitive therapy?
Okay, cognitive therapy is based on the theoretical assumption that the effects and the individual behaviors are determined by the way that it is structured the world. The cognitive therapy is based on the scientific empiricism. And for the cognitive therapy, it's most important that the thoughts generate emotions and these finally generate behaviors.
Well, so having this in mind, which are the techniques used in cognitive therapy?
Usually, the cognitive therapists use a gentle, Socratic questioning process. In this therapy, it helps the patients to evaluate and respond to their automatic beliefs and thoughts. Other important technique for the cognitive therapy is the validity testing. In this, the therapy asks the patients to defend his or her beliefs and thoughts. Another one is the cognitive rehearsal. In this, the therapy invites the patient asked to imagine a difficult situation that is assumed in the past. And then the therapy helps the patients to assume the situations for the present.
So, what would you say that are the most important concepts, like the main concepts? I mean, I will say that one of the most important is the automatic thoughts, right? Because, it's that immediate thoughts you have after the interaction of the belief, the cognitive process, and the situational elements, right?
Yeah, it's essential, of course. In the case of the scans, it is represents the sense of experience and events that the people have faced in the past. Other important concept for the cognitive theory is the nuclear beliefs. This represents a global and absolute beliefs about their thoughts.
So, to contextualize a little bit more to the audience, what kind of thoughts or behaviors those people with depression has usually? I mean, I can remember a few ones, like the selective thinking, that it's when they focus only on the negative aspects of their lives, and completely ignoring the positive ones, like thinking what haven't they done instead of what have they done. Also, it's the overgeneralization, like just for one little event, or well, it can be big also, but just for one event, they think that something that happened in the past, it will continue happening in the future, like it will repeat and repeat once again. And the magnifying and the catastrophizing, like when they overact or exaggerate one event, one situation, they think that it might be worse of what they think it is, like a headache can become a brain tumor for them. What others would you mention?
It's totally like you say. And the cognitive model also asserts that the present people may have numbers of distortions in the way they interpret the world. This negative perspective is over themselves, the world, and the future. And it is explained for the triad theory.
So, from the cognitive therapy, how is the depression understand? I mean, why they get this pathology?
Yeah, as I said before, The cognitive model also asserts that first people make a number of distortions that you explained before. And about the way they interpret the information, this perspective is important, the distortions that the depressive people have.
Okay, so in front of these behaviors that we're talking about that are characteristic of the depression, how does the cognitive therapy act to help them?
Okay, as I said before, the principal objective of the cognitive therapy is modify the maladaptive ideations, beliefs, and thoughts of the people for improving this well-being.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Beck, for being here today. It was such a pleasure for all of us to have you.
Thank you, Billy, for inviting me.
Lights, camera, and action.
Wish, no. Welcome back to the show. Today with me, no, pues, ¿qué estoy diciendo? Today with us, the directly behavior. Let me tell you that this after the show, you have the clearance. But there is so many times. What happened? That person's. Thank you so much for your attention and your comment. Thank you for the